apple juice, I promise. Welcome back to Data Mixology. Today we're showing you key elements of a strong data model by mixing a special recipe created by the Tipsy Bartender called the St. Patrick's Day Jungle Juice. I'm going to show you the 10 common ingredients of making a strong data model to create a perfect lookalike audience. The first 3 elements of a strong lookalike audience are going to be represented by the fruit portion of this recipe. The first one being a lime here, which is income. So we'll go ahead and put some income in there. We'll do a little bit of diversity here, which is represented by an orange slice, and education, which is represented by slices of apple. So now we're gonna move on to the liquor portion of the St. Patrick's Day Jungle Juice, which is very important here. We're gonna go ahead and start with a sour apple pucker, which will give a kick to any one of your data models or lookalike audiences here. And we are going to do 2 parts of that. And the sour apple pucker is going to be representative here of occupation and income. And the reason that we group those 2 together is that occupation and income correlate with each other pretty highly, right? You know, certain occupations have higher or lower incomes, just kind of based on your specialty, education levels, et cetera, et cetera. So that is the sour apple pucker. Now we're gonna add in our melon liqueur. And in this case, we've got a Midori, and this is gonna be representative of your marital status. Again, you've got 2 parts here, so it's equal for the cocktail. And marital status is kind of cool. In the different databases, you've got 4 different elements. You've got confirmed married, you've got single, and then you've got assumed married and assumed single, and those are kind of based on household compositions. And then we're going to move on to an Irish whiskey. In this case, we've got a Jameson, and this is gonna be representative of credit score. And man, do I need a shot of Jameson after looking at mine. All right, so we're gonna do 2 parts in here as well. So it's all equal parts so far between the liqueur, the Midori, and the Jameson. So now we're gonna move on to the mixer section of the drink, and we're gonna start with an apple juice, and we're gonna do 4 parts of the apple juice. And what this represents in this instance for your lookalike audience is home value. And home value is really kind of important too, if you think about it, because it's not only gonna identify kind of where you live, because home values are diverse throughout the country, but it's also gonna show you, kind of a commonality on what that value entails, et cetera, et cetera. And then we are going to move on to a white grape soda. Now, the Tipsy Bartender used a green apple soda, but we are going to use a white grape in this case. And we're going to do 3 parts of this soda. And that is going to be representative of your net worth. And overall, the net worth ranges are between $1 and $500,000. With the highest being $500,000 or more in net worth. And again, those are really cool elements for any kind of lookalike audience. So there's your 3rd part. And then finally, we are gonna add a blue Curacao. And this is, usually just for some color and a little bit of flavor. And this is gonna be representative of our length of residence. And you'd really be surprised as to how length of residence can play in with a lookalike audience. We like definitely to point that out, and that's the 10th element here of our lookalike audience, and it should give it a nice green color. So that is the final ingredient. Okay, so now we've gone through the 10 key elements of creating a strong lookalike audience, and lookalike audiences are really cool and kind of important because you can go ahead and feed in your prospect list or your customer list. And it's really great because it shows you all the different commonalities between those. And in doing so, you create a perfect prospect list that you can use, and it increases your overall response rate and your sales rates. And so that's the reason that we do that here in the data industry. And here's your final jungle juice right here. Let's take a look. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So this is a perfect lookalike audience. and an amazing jungle juice. This is gonna be fun to drink. If you need help making your perfect lookalike audience, like and subscribe below, and be sure to leave your comments. Cheers. Audience.
Yeah.
I do.
Let's do it.
We can do this.
We
Start with sour apple pucker. Sour apple plum.
yeah.